Hello. Hi. This is the Rich Kid Richard. Welcome. I am hosting a live event streaming over all social media platforms. And I do this all the time. So make sure you like and follow. Turn on your notifications. You can ask me any kind of question that you want to. So you can get notifications wherever you are, whatever platform you prefer to use, right? Because I think I'm gonna be streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, which I never get any people there, and Instagram, 2 accounts, Facebook, 2 accounts, and on TikTok. So yeah, um, I do this randomly because it's easier to talk to a whole bunch of people at once instead of going to different social media platforms. So if you follow and subscribe or tune in, I can pretty much answer any question that you have financially. Some areas of expertise that I focus on is business ownership, business acquisitions, credit, building your credit, working on your credit score, working on your credit profile, working on business credit, working on personal credit. Other things I focus on is investing, 401k, TSP, IRAs, ETFs, mutual funds, high yield savings accounts, all that. And then buying cash flow producing assets. We talk about real estate. We talk about storage units. We talk about Airbnb. We talk about ATMs. We talk about uh, shoot, vending machines, and all that kind of stuff, which in theory is the embodiment of the majority of anybody's financial journey. And a lot of times people will ask me, well, what about these particular subjects? What about this? It's not the fact that it do or don't work. I just don't. I'm not a get rich quick type person. I don't gamble, and I'm not out here trying to hustle. Like things like forex, that's literally like gambling to me. Like you put your money into something, make a short, make a call, make a put, and hopefully it increases in value over a short amount of time, and then you pull out. Like that's comically like gambling. And also things like crypto currencies. Like crypto is cool. I think there are some better options in cryptocurrency when you should just put your money into something and just let it ride. Um, the bigger stuff like the Ethereum, the Bitcoin, the Ripple, the XRP. If you want to play around with some stuff, you might get into some Doge or something like that. But some Cardano stuff like that. But for the most part, if it's not one of the big five or big six, I don't want to hear it. And if it's not like a long play, meaning it's not over the next 3 to 5 years, I'm not with it. So just that's the type of areas that I typically try to focus on. And if you want to focus on stuff that's other than that, maybe I'm not your guy, but I am knowledgeable on all things money. So, you never know. Just stay tuned, watch, comment, like, follow, and all the kind of traditional stuff. And, you know, be looking out for me when I'm on those platforms and ask me the questions. So, um, I asked some people to submit some questions to me, and I'll just go ahead and do some rapid fire stuff. Aloha, Steve. What's happening, man? Hey, what? Oh, you're on Facebook. Oh man, I'm new to this, so it tells me where you're from. Yeah, I sent you your link too. I think you messaged me and I didn't get back to you. I don't really check the platform a lot. I'm busier, but I think I reached out to you, and we should set up something soon so we can discuss in detail some things that you want to do to move forward. But I appreciate you being here, man. So, individual said, should I buy a business or should I build one? So I want you to really think about kind of what you're asking in the perspective. And I don't look at stuff like from a personal perspective or a biased perspective. I look at stuff from the perspective of money. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel, right? Why would I take so here we go. I'll even have both of those subjects in a nutshell, right? You have a business you can buy or acquire, or you can have a business that you start. One pro of starting a business is you can tell people, I built this from the ground up and I've gave my blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, and that's pretty much the only perk of starting something, is to tell people that you started something. You know, say you wanted to start I don't know, construction company. I just making something off the top of my head. So you got to get licensed. You got to probably buy a truck. You got to go find employees. You got to go do marketing. You got to have suppliers. You got to go do bids on houses. And then you probably got to build that stuff up for months, maybe even years out. And that process is going to take you tens, 50s, 60s, 70s, $100,000 to just to get off the ground before you even made a dime. So you're essentially hustling backwards. You're digging a hole just to fill the hole up as you go through it, instead of buying. Now, let's say there was a construction company for sale that's, I don't know, $300,000, that's making you $100,000 a year, right? The day you buy it, you're making money. Why would you spend 6 months to a year, maybe 2 years at a loss, when you close on a Friday and on Monday there's money in your account? Because if you bought it right, which the only way I teach is to buy them right, your debt servicing means the amount of money you're paying for the business or the asset, and payments should be covered from the amount of money you're bringing in. Like, that's the only way to do it. If that number don't work out, then it's a dud. If my monthly bill on a business is $10K and it brings in $15K, that month I made $5,000. I mean, this is what, 8th grade math? I'm sure most people who listen to this graduated from the 8th grade. If business A made $15,000 and business A expenses are $10,000, how much money does business A have at the end of the month? Ma'am, right here. Okay, let me get this straight. 15,000 income, okay. Expenses are 10. How much at the end of the month? I think that's 5. Is it 5? I'm just throwing that out there. You're correct. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, cool. Question number 2. The business expenses of a startup for that month is 10,000, and the business income is 0 because you don't have any customers yet. How much you have at the end of the month? Hold on, man. Hold on. We could do negative here? Yeah, of course you could do negative. Okay, cool. I'm just checking, because that number doesn't make sense, because you really can't take something away from nothing, because you ain't bringing no money in, so you can't add to nothing. Okay. So what's the answer, Richard? Negative 10,000? Yeah, negative 10,000. You lost $10,000 that month. Yes. I studied for that test too. Woo. I got 100. Yeah, you got 100%. Congratulations. Right? Why buy a process that's already existing? Only perk to owning something, to starting something, is to tell people that you started it. I built this brick by brick. I built this from the ground up. I've been working like a dog. Shut the fuck up with that shit. I don't care. I'm here to make money, not friends, not have a good time. I don't want no owner pride or none of that crap. Right? I think I take more pride in something that makes money than something that doesn't. Think about that. Would you rather say, yo, man, I got a startup. I built this from the ground up. We in the beginning stage now. We're not positive cash flow yet. However, I'm working diligently and really hard to get there. Or so, yo, man, yeah, I bought this, I don't know, gas station. It made 10 I bought it for the payment on it 10,000, and I made $15,000 a month. People gonna look at you like, you can do that? I say, yeah, a lot of people do that. I say, wow, that's smart. William P., I see you. YouTube checking in. I appreciate you. I don't never really get a lot of people from YouTube, but I thank you for being here. Go ahead and ask questions, man. Odette, the dog whisperer, I see you. So, got a question here. I live in a house for 2 years, rented out for 8 years. Do I 1031 exchange? Okay, so 1031. Okay, so for those who own a property or their primary home, if you buy a property and you own the property and you live in the property, you do not have to pay capital gains tax when you sell that property. So the rules are, if you live in it for the last 2 years, or if you lived in it 3 out of the last 5 years. So if you lived in it for 2 years, and then you or 3 years, and then you rented it out for the next 2, and then you sell it. So that 5-year span, you lived in it for 3 years, or the last 2 years you lived in it. When you sell that property, you do not have to pay capital gains tax on that property. However, there is a loophole, and it's called a 1031 exchange. A 1031 exchange is when you have an investment property. Now it's considered an investment property. You at your 6-year mark, or you bought the house and you never lived in it. So a lot of times what I try to tell people to do is you can either do a 1031 or you go move back into that property for 2 years and then you sell it, right? Or you refinance it or do a HELOC, but that's another story. We'll get to that. So you can go and take, if you lived in that property for 2 years, or in the last 3 to 5 years, you lived in it, you don't have to pay capital gains tax or taxes on your profit. But if you have, you can do what's called a 1031 exchange. So let's say you bought an investment property, you paid $100,000 for it, you owe $50,000 after 10 years, you sell it for $200,000, and you got $150,000 of income. You can pay capital gains, which is 35% or something. 35% of 150,000 while is 50 big ones. Do you want to pay $50,000 to the IRS? Hell no. So you can do what's called a 1031 exchange. That means you take your profit and roll it over to another property, right? So instead of you paying $50,000 to the government, you pocket in $100,000. You take the whole $150,000 and then you roll it over to another property, and you defer capital gains tax, or you defer taxes on that income. But you actually can buy a business that has real estate attached to it too, and you can do a 1031 exchange. So if you have $150,000, you can put $150,000 on the existing business. Let's say the business was $1 million and it's producing you $150,000 a year. So now you bought the tenant, that's the business. You bought the real estate, you deferred taxes, and you produce income every month. Win, win, win. All I do is win. Win, 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 win. And then say if you have an investment property and you say, yo, man, I want to sell it, but I don't want to do any 1031 and exchange, none of that crap. Cool. Just refinance, because debt or refinancing is non-taxable. You do not pay taxes on debt. So if you owe $50,000, it's worth $200,000, you go to the bank and you say, yo, I need a loan for 70%, 75% loan to value. 75% loan to value is what, $120 or something? They're gonna give you a loan on $120. You have $30,000 worth of equity. They pay off the 50 you owe. You got a new loan at 120, and you keep the difference, which is $70,000. No capital gains tax, and then you still got $30,000 worth of equity in the property. Win, 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 win. That's how we do it, people. But there's multiple ways to skin that cat. It just depends on you and the circumstance. But I'm a advocate of long buy and hold. Okay? Long buy and hold. So if you buy a property, either refinance it or 1030, don't never really sell. Just keep the equity in the property, even though equity is dead money. Just keep it in the property, and or either refinance or take a HELOC out on it and then use that to buy more property. Even though HELOCs is the same thing. HELOCs is debt, so you can't be taxed on debt. So kind of the same thing. But that's a good question, sir. I hope I answered it. But y'all can go ahead and ask whatever questions y'all want. I don't know how social media works. I don't know if you can tap the screen and give it likes. But please make sure you're tapping the screen. Make sure you're following. Make sure you are turning your notifications, because I'm pretty much here to answer all of, if not all, any of your questions, right? But I'll give a quick commercial break, I guess. I do offer a free webinar that talks about buying cash flow producing assets, fixing your credit, buying real estate, investing, and all that kind of stuff like that. The link's in the bio, wherever the hell you are, on all social media platforms. Just click the link, sign up for the free class. It starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is about an hour and 50 minutes. You know, I almost forget I even have to teach the class, but I always remind myself, like, Wednesday. Today's Wednesday, right? You know, it's bad when your days run together, because every day is just a grind. It's a hustle. You know what I mean? So, but how are y'all doing? Let me know where y'all checking in from and all kind of stuff. We got somebody from Hawaii. Dad, where you at now, man? I know you travel everywhere. Okay, somebody asked on TikTok about aged corpse. Oh, hold on, let me get you. Woo. Woo. New York's in the house. What up, Stick? MP God, I see you on Twitch. Holy Hey, MP God. Thank you. You're my first Twitch person. Hi. Welcome to Money Talk, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. We talk about everything cash flow, producing assets. We talk about everything money, investments. Talk about life insurance. We talk about whatever subject you want. I'm here to answer questions. I always try to come on, especially on Wednesdays. I come on Wednesdays because I know I got to teach the class. So I got to get my brain warmed up to like talk to people. So, but thank you, man. I appreciate you being here. You're probably the only person in the room there. I didn't think anybody would watch. But however, sorry. Somebody wanted me to explain the whole Chef Corp thing. Whew, you're gonna get me hot and bothered, brother. You're gonna get me hot and bothered. Okay, so let's go back to a far distant land. The land of 2017. Skinny jeans and and 50 cents. And Soldier Boy. That's supposed to. But anyways, so back then, the banks stated that, hey, we will give you money contingent upon how old your corporation is. So when younger people would try to go for business funding, the business would say, hey, this LLC, S Corp, C Corp has been established for only a month, 2 months, 5 months, 6 months. Like, we're not going to give you any money. You're not trustworthy, right? So people went and got aged corps, aged LLCs, aged C Corps, aged S Corps, and that type of stuff. Or shelf corps. They just set them on the shelf, and they're like, somebody probably passed away and it's been passing down the family generation to generation, and then somebody just sells it. And then you become the registered agent of that S Corp, and now you have a business that's technically years, 10, 15, 20 years old. Okay. So banks was like, okay, your business is 10 years old. You don't have any money coming in, but screw it. You have a 10-year-old business. 15-year-old business. So they gave them the bag or gave them the money. And then from about 2017 to a little bit before COVID, 2020, maybe 2021, my Meladin Challenge friends would go get 10,000 wow, 20,000 wow, 50,000 wow, 100,000 wow from the banks from a Chef Corp that they bought for, $2,000, and they got $100,000 worth of business credit. Go max that shit out, buying bull stool like Gucci, Louis, Prada. You shouldn't be buying none of that Hellcats and other dumb stuff that ain't making no money. They can't pay the bill because $100,000 line of credit, that payment is 15 hondos. They can't make the payment. They default. The bank's out of $100,000 just because you did a $2,000 play. And now the banks got hip to that shit, and it's like, yo, we're done with that. We are done with the Chef Corp game. We're not giving these mother cluckers no more money. From here on out, I don't care how long. And then it went to like, let's go to Dun and Bradstreet and let them build trade lines. And through the trade lines, if they can pay their trade lines on time, then we'll give them lines of credit through the business. But Dun and Bradstreet wasn't reporting their NAV scores. They wasn't reporting their net 30s, net 60s, net 90s to and getting their Dun scores and stuff like that. So people was paying on these trade lines through Uline, Granger, and all that kind of stuff like that. They wasn't reporting, so people were trying to go get business credit, and then it wasn't working. That was like real big during COVID. 2019, 2020, 2021, a little bit of 2022. So banks said, you know what? Screw it. I don't care how old your LLC is. I don't care how old your C Corp is, S Corp. I don't care. All business debt will be secured by personal credit. All. ALL. You walk into a bank, I don't give a shit if your Age Corp was owned by Mahatma Gandhi. You're going to have to secure that damn debt with your own personal credit. Because now what they're looking at is, can you pay your bills on time? I don't give a shit. So now let's think about it, which actually makes more sense. You got two people. This corporation is 50 years old. This corporation is a month old. This person with the 50-year-old business has a 400 credit score. Two charge-offs, two delinquencies, a bankruptcy, and a repossession. But his business is 50 years old. This guy has an 800 credit score, $30,000 worth of personal credit, no debt, a house, no payments, and an 800 credit score. Now, who would you want to loan money to? An 800 credit score with a new business, or a 50-year-old business, or somebody who can't pay their fucking bills on time? I'll wait. Well, never mind. I won't wait because I already know the answer. Give me the 800 credit score. This guy shows responsibility. A 50-year-old business of a person that can't do no business is worthless. I'll take the new guy. And that's how you get business credit with a new LLC. People come to me all the time. Yo, man, I'm going to go buy me a Chef Corp. Why? Why pay $2,000 for some shit you can get from the Secretary of State for $50? How's your personal credit? Well, it need a little work. That's what it needs. You need to get your little ass to work. That's what you need to do. That's the play. Fix your personal credit. I can secure hundreds of thousands of dollars of business credit when your personal credit is good. Now, if your personal credit ain't good, don't come to me talking about, man, I'm trying to get some business credit. That's like the number one question in my DM. I get 400 DMs a day. Half of them, yo, player, I'm trying to get that. I need 100K. You know what this is what it says. Hey, player, I need 100K for business loan. I need 100K business loan. I got to get some shit going. Okay, cool. What's your personal credit? Well, see what happened, and then it comes the pity party. I just delete. I don't even read. Well, see what happened. If you don't give me a number within like two sentences, you're done. Here, cool. Credit repair. Here you go. Sign up. Thanks. Bye. Because you need it. Right. And then this is what's happening in credit repair. Right. Because I do, me and my team do about 100 credit repairs a week. 100 a week. Not a month. Not a year. A week. And everybody I call them, I say, yo, here's your credit score. Here's your credit report. What's your credit score at? Oh, well, Credit Karma says 600. Cool, here you go. Here's your actual credit score. Well, why does it say, what'd you do to it? What the fuck you mean I do what I do to it? That's the score. Well, why does yours say 5.25? I think yours is wrong. No, ma'am or sir, mine is right. I have no reason to lie to you about no freaking credit. It's not my credit. I benefit none from this. You came to me, and then I'll say, okay, let's review your credit and let's see what's on it or what's not on it. It says right here that you had a late payment for a medical bill. Oh, well, see what happened is that shouldn't be on there. Well, it says you got a repossession right here. Well, see, what happened is I put my car, my baby mama name, and so it is right. Well, they shouldn't be. Get out of here with that. No, don't justify to me. The banks don't care. You're just a number on a piece of paper. That's it. When you come to my face and you say I want funding, or I want to buy a business, or I want to buy real estate, or I want my credit repair, or I want to get into investing, it's just numbers to me. There's no bias. You don't have to sell me. You don't have to press me, right? I've seen people with hundreds of millions of dollars, and I've seen people with $300,000 worth of credit card debt, right? I don't shun. I don't discriminate. I don't hate. You are just a number. It's just a number. It's just numbers to me. That's it. Don't care. So one or two things going to happen. You can sit here and keep playing the blame game, or we can get to work and come up with plans to get rid of this freaking debt and get this bullshit off your credit and get these utilization down, and then get your hard inquiries off. Because at the end of the day, they're there, regardless of who put them there or how it's got there. Don't care. Let's take care of this shit. Well, see what happened. No. We're done with the excuses. I don't give a shit. Right? No pity parties, right? I should get a t-shirt that says no pity parties, because I don't want to hear it. People send me DMs and stuff. Dude, I've seen DMs, I swear to you, was longer than the Notebook. I've seen DMs longer than damn Harry Potter, chapters 1 and 2. I'm like, yo, bro, you don't have to sell me. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not reading all this. What do you need to do? Okay? I don't know if I answered your question, Mr. Chef Corp, but I kind of did. All right. Sorry about that. I'm on a rant. People. I would love to train through you. Yeah, man. Click the link in the bio. Join the free class. I got a free class coming up in about an hour and a half. But so for those who are on this social media site that I'm pointing to, that's not the people right here, make sure you tapping the screen. Your price of admission for 15 seconds is just tapping the screen. Michael P. Jordan, what's happening? Michael, you the only one on Twitch. Hey, are you the only one in there? I appreciate you being here, though. Someone asks, how do I get up not paying $12K in back taxes? Great question. Here at Perelman and Associates, where our tax service is top tier, what we would do is, where do I sign up? Or if you're on Facebook, I don't know what Facebook page you're on, but just click the link in the bio or click out of this, and then it'll say like therichgetrichard.com, or go to Instagram. It's the rich. You have to go HTTPS backslash black chat. I can't even say that. Dot backslash black chat. TheRichGetRicher.com, or just click the link in the bio. Class starts in an hour and a half. Thank you for your time. No, thank you, Cooper. Hanging with Mr. Cooper. How do you get out of not paying taxes? And 10K, I don't know if it was past taxes or it was current taxes. Either way, this is what you do. I would shoot me a DM and say I need tax help. And I'll say, well, shoot, I hate working for free. Nobody should work for free, right? Anybody who signs up through me, anyone who goes through the free class and wants me to be their coach and their mentee, I review all your taxes for free, right? I've seen people who owed money, and after we review their taxes, they end up getting money back. We can get you an audit in your favor. I can review to make sure it's even correct on your taxes. I can review it to see if you did all the proper deductions, right? Especially if you have an LLC or a business, right? You should have been writing off a lot of stuff. I think every human being in America should have an LLC. Every one of y'all. The tax code is written for business ownerships. You know, okay, here we go. I'm gonna give you a quick synopsis. There's pretty much two tax laws. There's personal taxes, and then there's business tax. If you had to guess, how many pages of the tax law is personal taxes? Anybody want to take a stab at it? How many pages of the tax code is for personal taxes? You're probably not even close. You're not even close. Whatever number you're saying, divided by 5. I don't know. I can't see your comments. The answer, it was 4. 4. And they bumped it up to 6 recently. They added two more pages. Because the child income credit went up. Or the child income credit has like different defaults and shit in it. 6 pages of a tax code, United States of America tax code, authorized and enforced by the IRS, Internal Revenue Service, personal taxes, 6 pages. Now, how many pages do you think the tax code is for business owners? Business owners for loopholes, tax write-offs, tax deductions, everything. I'm gonna get caught up on my comments, so I'll see what y'all saying in numbers wise. Someone said 5,000 pages for personal taxes. No, it's 6. Business tax code between, depending on which one you get, 1,500 to 1,700 pages of tax write-offs for businesses. So when someone comes to me or comes to the team and they say, yo, man, I'm getting screwed on taxes. Do you have an LLC? Do you have an EIN? Do you have an S Corp? Do you have a C Corp? Do you have a DBA? Because if you do, the tax codes are written for those who have a lot of deductions. Tax codes aren't written for people. Same thing about bankruptcies. Bankruptcies aren't for people. Bankruptcies are for businesses. Do not file for bankruptcy if you're an individual. If you're a business, you've gone through turmoil and there's no other options, so be it. Personal people never, ever, 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 ever should file bankruptcies. People come to me and say, oh, I got a bankruptcy. That shit's like They're trying to like hit Thanos in the face with when he got all the six Infinity Stones. It ain't happening. He's inevitable. That's just on your credit for 6 years. But if you default on your bills, you have a late payment on your bills, you have a charge off on your bills, you can get that removed off your personal credit. I'm not giving you any personal advice. I'm not telling you what to do. But if a bankruptcy stays on your damn credit, and then if you don't pay your bill, it goes to collections, and then the collection goes to a charge off, and then the charge off gets closed, and you have a whole bunch of late payments. This is the process. You have late payments, then it goes to collections, and then the original creditor charges it off, goes to a creditor. The creditor can't collect the debt. They close the account. So now you got late payments, a collection, and a charge off, which due to the Fair Care Act and the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, denies you accessibility to credit, which is a federal offense. You can remove that in 2 months. But that repossession of that bankruptcy, you can't get off your credit. It still stays on there. So which one would you rather do? Now, I'm not giving you advice. I'm just saying which one makes more sense. Say word. Word. All right. I hope I answered your question, Mr. Tax Guy. Yeah, you need to I hate working for free, but I'm being generous. Shoot me a DM and say I need tax help. Shoot me your email. I'm feeling generous today. I'm in a good mood. That only goes to him too. Anybody else I'm gonna block you. But thank y'all for being here, Mr. Stick, Haitian. What's happening? MP God, Summer Seasons. La 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 la. Summer Seasons. Ah. Thank you for your time. No, thank you. I have 250,000. Wow. Brother, you rich and don't even know it. 250,000. Oh my goodness, man. Why y'all be sitting on so much money like that? I get more than like 5K in my account, and I put it to work. I'm just like, yo, this it's dead money. For those who, okay, here we go, y'all. I'm gonna put y'all on some real game, man. Right? There's terminology amongst me, right? I don't know what other people call it. I'll give you my philosophy on it. I call it dead money. Okay? Dead money is money that doesn't do anything but sit. It could be depreciating. It could be not drawing interest. It's just sitting there, right? And there are things that you should be doing better with your dead money. One, if you have money, I guess, in a savings account, it should be in a high yield savings account. At least it hedges some inflation. If you don't have your money in a high yield savings account, it's dead money, right? Second of all, money in your like checking account, right? Anything over like 10,000, wow, take your expenses for the month, double it. Anything more than that, dead money. It's just, it needs to be allocated towards something that makes money, right? So if your expenses is $5,000 a month, you should keep $10,000 in that account and then transfer it over to a high yield savings account. And if it's, and you're going to allocate it in the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months max. If you're going to allocate it to something in the next 6 months, like buy some piece of real estate, buy a business, buy some cash flow producing assets, cool. Let it sit in the high yield savings account. But if it ain't going to be allocated in something in the next 6 months, bro, put that shit to work. Put it to work. Assets, cash flow producing assets all day long, right? Mutual funds, ETFs, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, businesses, real estate. I don't give a damn. That's dead money. Dead money, right? Equity in your home, dead money, right? People always like, it's a cushion. It's dead money. Why? Why you want to? People like, yo, I want to pay off my house. Why? Paying off your house don't make you money. The objective is to make money while you're sleeping. If you are sleeping in a paid off house, you are not making any money. If you're sleeping in a house with a house payment, you're not making money. Stop me when I'm lying. Right? If your objective is to pay off your house, you can't access that money until you die or sell it or refinance. Let's say you bought a house at 30, you 60, your house is paid off. You bought it for 300, now it's worth 650. Congratulations. You got a $650,000 anchor weight that you sleep in every day because it's not making you any money. Well, I save a house payment. Brother, you save $3,000 a month in payments. You still pay taxes. You still pay insurance. You still have a payment. Oh, it's not as much. Let's say if you put that equity of that $600,000 into the stock market, and it's drawing you on average 10.1% over the next year. 600,000, wow, 10%, $650,000 over at 10% is $65,000 or $5,000 a month. Would you want a paid off house or $5,000 coming in every month? Hey, what the fuck do I know? Right? What do I know? Right? And that's $5,000 a month, regardless of where you live. Everybody pays for where they live, right? But hey, whatever, man. You do you. And then if you started the same process when you was 40 instead of 60, then you really would have been better off. Or if you put the $600,000 down on a $3 million apartment complex that produces you $400,000 a year. Oh. And then now you're making $30,000 a month. How about that? But hey, what do I know? Brother, ew. Memphis in the house, California, Chicago, Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. What's good? Greenwood, South Carolina. I'm in a small fortune in South Carolina. I just retired out of MacDill. Yes, sir. Me too, sir. What was you, Army, Marines, Navy? It looked like you was Air Force. Sorry to hear that. Nah, Air Force is the best branch. Idea for investing in a facility for pickleball. My personal opinion, I don't like starting anything. To me, I kind of think pickleball is kind of, I ain't gonna say it's faddish. I called pickleball 3 years ago. But if there was a pickleball facility that's already operating, then maybe. But do I want to buy something and don't have a proof of concept, don't have the marketing, don't have the network, don't have the people, don't have the resources to start something and hopefully it works out? That ain't my stick, man. That ain't it. To me, it financially doesn't make sense to buy a facility. This ain't the field of dreams. I don't build anything and hope people come, right? People should already be there spending their money. Damn, that was a good analogy. Somebody should have been recording that one. You can have that one. What is the minimal credit profile score when seeking business funding? Great question, my brother. Sorry to bother you. Nah, you good, man. The minimal credit score profile. So your credit profile. So a lot of people always confuse credit profile and credit score and FICO score. They're kind of like different things. It just depends on you, right? So if you want business credit, you need to have a strong credit profile. You need a strong credit score. Strong credit profile is a credit card, 2 lines of credit that you've had for more than, I think, a year and a half, or more than a year, or a year and a half, or 2 years. That's over $5,000, which most people kind of probably should have that or need to be working on that. And or you need a 680 credit score, right? But there's other programs. Some people say 650. Some of my people say 650. Some of my people say 680. Some of my people say 700. But if you were on the cusp, then I'll be like, nah, man, we good. Let's try to get this score up a little higher. So your objective is always trying to push your credit to the max. Because what's the point of having credit if you don't even use it? Like I was explaining that to somebody the other day, and a lot of people look at their credit like a vanity metric or something. I have an 820 credit score. So what's the point? The objective of credit, in my opinion, is to use that credit to buy assets that produce you income every month. I don't give a shit if you got a 600 or 15,000. Don't give a damn how high your credit score is. Your objective is to use your credit, whatever score it is, leverage it to buy assets that produce you income that pays for your way of life every month. Point, period, blank. The score is a vanity metric. Who cares? Who cares? I always use the analogy of like a model and a bum. There's a model who's 6'5", rock hard abs, blue eyes, perfect chin, well spoken, and can't have kids. There's a 5'6" guy, beer gut, homeless, drools when he sleeps, but he can pop out 10 kids in the next 5 years. If your objective is to have babies, what the hell is the 6'5" guy gonna do for you? Not a dang thing. Same thing with credit that's high as hell that you can't even leverage it. Oh my goodness, dog. Oh my goodness, I'm speaking facts. Y'all don't want to hear it. Y'all think y'all do, but y'all really don't. Right? A lot of people say, yo, man, what's your credit score? Enough to get me lines of credit. What's yours? Is it enough to get lines of credit? Then the rest of it is irrelevant. The rest of that shit's irrelevant. 680 should be everybody's minimum. 680 can qualify you for majority of, or if not every loan package, program, funding, credit, line of credit there is out there. You want a car, you want a Sprinter van, you want an American Express card, you want a Chase Platinum, you want a whatever you want. 680 majority of times can get you there, right? There might be some random ones here and there that might have like some net worth requirements or some income requirements, but the credit score is what you need to be focused on, right? That's 99% of all 99% of all businesses. Oh, not all things are 680. Okay. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I appreciate you asking. Freddie Cruz. How you doing, brother? I low-key miss you, man. You come back to the States, come holler at me. Show you how us ballers do it. If I had $250,000, if I had $250,000, I would be looking at a 10% down on an existing business. You're gonna be looking into $1.5 to $2.5 million. Your margins are gonna be a little shittier because the amount of money you're borrowing. you probably can get something in the 25 to 28 to 30% margins. I'll round down. You bought something at 2 million, you probably be making about $500,000 after debt servicing, which is 180 minus 500 minus 180 minus your $200,000 back. Year one, you should be making about 150. Year two, you should be making about 3.25 ish. You should be making about $300,000 a year after the first 18 months. But hey, what the hell do I know? If your credit's nice, but if you got $200,000 worth of liquid assets and you got shitty credit, you got bigger issues, my brother. Folks preach business credit, then once you buy from them, they have personal credit card stuck you. Yeah, I guess. I kind of don't understand what you're trying to say, but yeah. I almost got scammed by your fake account. All right, y'all. These people in these damn fake accounts is killing me, man. I get a DM every like 5 people say, "Yo, man, is this the real you?" Because I got scammed. I almost got scammed. I'm just like, oh my goodness, dog. My goodness. Like the scammers be real, man. Right? So I'm gonna tell y'all something. If it's not me, right? Like only thing I offer, and I do it like this for a reason. Only thing I offer is a webinar because I don't do stuff over the phone. I don't do stuff via email. I don't do stuff via text. I for damn sure don't do anything via Telegram or whatever the hell it is. So it's easier for me to, if I want to do something with you, I physically see you, right? If it ain't that, it ain't me. So don't ever send anybody any money, and I'm never gonna DM you, right? I don't have that kind of time. Some people might, I don't. I'm not gonna be sitting there, hey brother, what's happening? I do send you random text messages saying like, yo, I got a free class, come to the free class. That's it. That's all I'm gonna ever offer you is the free class. Because I can physically see your faces and we can kind of go from there. So no, that ain't me. What's the sole proprietorship? Oh, brother, you need to get in the class, man. You have what's called an S corp, which is a sole proprietorship. It's just a business entity in which you have. It's like a business structure. So whenever you're buying assets, it's however it's structured, and it minimizes and mitigates the amount of taxes and liability you have as an individual from owning those assets, right? So let's say you have a house and someone slips and falls at your house, and they can sue the corporation, but they don't get no money from you. They just sue whatever assets are in that. You just manage that asset. It's kind of I don't know if that's kind of explaining, or I need to actually do the work on my credit. Yeah. Or you can have somebody do it for you. So I do offer, I wouldn't be doing myself a disservice, even though credit repairs are extremely time consuming. But if you wanted to, there's 2 types of credit service that people offer, right? There's a do-it-yourself. Actually 3. You can do it yourself, right? Go to YouTube, go to TikTok, go to social media and just learn how to do it, or go to Google, learn how to do it, download the letters, download what you're supposed to say, and then send them off to the bureaus and hope it works, right? Then you have what's called a someone guiding you, right? So you pay them a fee, $100, $200, $50, whatever the hell they charge, $500 flat or whatever, and then they give you the letters to find, like the letters you're supposed to go find. You fill out the letters, and then they tell you where to send them, and then you fill them out, then you send them off, and then you check the credit, and hopefully the stuff falls off, and whatever don't fall off, then you go back and you re-edit the stuff, and then you send it off again, right? But a lot of times, whenever you do that, I mean, you have to spend pretty much a couple hours going through your credit and finding what's wrong and what's right. A lot of people don't even know what they're looking for, and then every time you want that person to do it, they're gonna charge you a fee every time they do it, which is kind of annoying. But with my credit service, you sign up and you send us the information we need, and we're done. Right? We go for multiple rounds, and it's like taking a sledgehammer to an ant. Right? Everything that's negative or bad or derogatory in your credit, we're gonna fix. We're gonna try to go for it. That's the goal. Go for the crappy crap on your credit. Right? Late payments, derogatory charge-offs, late payments, repos, baby mama payments. We do it all, right? And then the bad part about it is there's stuff that you didn't even know you was looking for in your credit that my team looks for. For example, I had a guy who had misspellings of his name 21 times on his credit. We saw that his name was misspelled on his credit 21 times. We said, no, this is the proper way to spell his name, and all the rest of these are wrong. Shot up his score, 78 points. Had another client who's lived in 8 different places in the last 7 years. Your address is staying in your credit for like 8 years, 7 to 8 years. So you get rid of all those old addresses that are irrelevant. Now you're showing more stable. So now his credit went up 23 points just from having random ass addresses that he kind of lived at or was associated with. Who knows? I don't care. Right? So, hey, No, I don't. Just come to the class, and if you miss it, I try to offer the class every week, right? Until I get tired or until I don't want to do it no more. I have weeks when I say, "Yo, man, I think I'm done with this," but I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't even know how to turn it off. It just automatically starts it on its own, and then people already signed up, and I was like, "Shit, okay, I guess I'll do it." Right? You'd be surprised. People have missed the class, and then the class is over, and then I go like refresh the page, and it's already like 3 people signed up for the next class. I'm like, "How the hell y'all signed up for a class? It's the same class. Why you signed up again?" I don't know, man. But it can be frustrating dealing with so many people and so many personalities. But just come to the class. I try to offer it every week. But one day I told myself I'm gonna get rid of it because it's just a pain in the butt to do it. Can I get funding for a $1.5 million business? Credit great. Yeah. So there's 3 basic programs for SBA. So you have, well, actually 4. SBA, I call it SBA flat or SBA general. Then you have what's called SBA express, anything under $250,000. SBA general, anything under $350,000. SBA express, you can get one of those in like 4 weeks. Then you have an SBA 7A, $350,000 to $5 million. You need a 680 credit score. All these you need a 680 credit score, 10% down payment, sometimes 5%, sometimes 2.5% down. But we always shoot for 10% down. 680 credit score and some knowledge on business owning, business management, or knowledge on that particular subject, right? And or you can hire the owner as a consultant for the business. So if you want to buy a business and you don't know how to run, let's say it's a taco stand. I don't fucking know. Let's say it's a taco stand. You don't know nothing about tacos, right? You can hire the previous owner as a consultant for the business. He works there. He works for you. You pay him $1,000 a month. Your income goes from like what, 150 to like whatever $12,000 less is, 138. You have a consultant that you can call on and help, he or she can help you manage the business, right? And they can walk you through any problem you need or have. But once somebody kind of trains you on something, but this is what I like to, the analogy I like to use. right? Somebody trained you to do your job. The job you're working at now, somebody trained you on how to do it. So how long did they watch you or manage you or coach you or guide you to do your job? You might have had a little insight on it, but they still coached you on how to do that for some short period of time. Shit, 3 days, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks. I mean, and then after like 6 months, you act like you damn own the place. So how long of a coach or a consultant of a previous business owner do you truly need? Right? Everybody's business in here, everybody's job right now who's in here, more likely they can run that damn place by themselves. They probably feel like they're the best employee there. They almost feel like they can operate this better than anybody else. What's the difference between that and owning your own business? Only difference is you make sugar and the owner makes the owner makes the sugar and you make the shit. That's the only difference. That's the only difference in that process. The owner makes all the money and he don't do shit. You sit up there and act like you own the place and you don't own nothing. The owner don't even come in there. He owns the whole damn thing. He making all the money. Tell me how crazy that is. And then you have what's called the SBA 405. Sorry for getting distracted on I get on little rants. 405 means you want to buy a business and real estate at the same time. Chicago Kingpin, I see you. I'm behind on my comments. I'm sorry. St. Petersburg, San Antonio knows how to party. San Antonio knows how to party. What would be the first thing you get with a line of credit? P Diddy. P4 Diddy. I don't even know what that means, my young brother. What would be the first thing you get with a line of credit? What's the first thing you get? I don't know what that means. What's the first thing you want? Whatever you want, man. I'm in your live. Thanks. What would be the first thing? So are you asking what's the first thing you need to do to get a line of credit? Right? There's multiple things. So with me, I almost feel like I hate explaining this to like just sitting here explaining it to people, right? That's why I have coaching programs. That's why I have mentees, because I can sit there and I can pre-record a video and I can say, yo, watch this video. This is what my team looks for, right? Because once people sign up for a mentorship or want me to be their coach or want people to guide them and stuff like that, I can just point you to the right videos to watch, right? Because my team and I talk about, yo, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I need. This is, if their credit is good, go here. If their credit is not good, do this. If they don't have a business, do this. And it's just, I don't know your situation, so it's kind of hard for me to tell you what you need and what you don't need to be doing. So it just depends on you, young brother. So I'm in the live. Thanks, man. Key, you coming to the class tonight? Miss Chicago? Can I qualify for business credit just for having an LLC? You need everything attached to the LLC. You need to be showing that you're a true business. And then you need good credit too. 680 is the minimum. If you don't have 680, then we need to work on it. Scammers are heavy on this platform. Yeah, I know, man. I get a scam that like, it's like, I counted like 200 scam pages. Just look at the followers. He has close to 500K. Who has 500K followers? Me? 490? Yeah, I don't think I'll ever hit 500, man. TikTok hates me. How do you sign up? The link in the bio, young brother. Click my name, double click my name. It takes you to my profile. Click the link. It'll say be your own boss. It takes literally 5 minutes to sign up, less than 5 minutes. And all it asks for is your name, email, and telephone number. And I don't sell your information. I don't need to, right? I don't care about that. You won't get spam mail and all that kind of crap. All that crap to me is irrelevant, right? I don't need your money. I don't need any of this. People just keep asking me for it, so I do it. And one day when people stop asking me, then I won't offer it no more. That's how simple as it gets, right? But some people won't help, and some people feel like the free value I give them for years is genuine. So if I give you tons of value for free, could you only imagine what I'll do if you was in my program? You know, just think of it like that. I'm gonna get off at 8 o'clock on TikTok, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. It ain't that many people in here anyway. I'm glad that y'all watching from YouTube. Oh man, more people keep popping in from YouTube. Hey YouTube guys, if you want to comment down below where you from, even in TikTok land, comment where you from. And I really need to get my rep up on YouTube, right? YouTube, they keep sending me naughty letters saying to engage more. So I'm just like, oh my goodness, or naughty emails. You thought I was teaching a different thing every day? I don't know what that means. So ambiguous, which I don't really consider the term biggest fan, but if I had like 5 people that was like the guys or girls, I think ambiguous would be comically in the top 5, right? Ambiguous was always on here. He's always engaging. He's always talkative. He's always supportive. He's never negative. But it's crazy though. I wish he'll just quit playing around and try to hurry and move forward, because it's kind of weird. I don't know what he looks like. I don't know his real name, and I would almost feel like super obligated to help him out because he's been like damn near ride or die for damn near a year, right? I don't know, when you came on Ambiguous, I probably didn't have that many followers. I remember one time I think I was driving somewhere and it was me and Ambiguous. It was me, him, and like one other person, the last 2 people. I was driving like 45 minutes. I was just talking to him the whole time. Right? That's Die Hard, man. That was like a year and a half ago or something like that, man. I appreciate you being here though. Post-class details. I don't know what that means. Just come in there, man. The class is free. RCDC. Where's the link? The link in the bio. Click my name. What's up, broski? I'm doing good. Broski. It's free. And it starts in an hour. Hell, YouTube. Hey, I got 3 people in here. Hell yeah. 2 from Facebook. I got 2 Facebook accounts. So it's kind of weird how like, it's almost like my alter ego. The Rich Get Richer, I never go there. I never use that account. It like got set up as like a default when I had like 5,000 followers, and I never use it. So if you're here from there, hey, but I don't ever use it. It's just like an account. I got one person on Twitch, which I set up a Twitch account 5 months ago. About a year ago. I never go on it. I've never posted a day in my life, but I have the account. So you hear from Twitch? Hey. YouTube, appreciate y'all. Twitter, not so much. But yeah, hold on. I'll do a refresh. But yeah, make sure, I'm glad y'all here. Ask the questions. I'm about to get off here because I always gotta like stretch and reset my brain to get on the live. You know, it's kind of crazy. This is kind of like exposing my weaknesses, even though I try not to. You shouldn't do it. Like every time I do the class, I get nervous. And every time I do my mentorship, I get nervous too. I talk to people literally for hours on end and not even think about it. But when I talk to people on my lives, or I talk to them in the mentorship, or I talk to them in the free class, I get nervous. And I have to like reset my brain, even though I pretty much sit here and talk for hours on end. And you know, I think we all have character flaws, but I think I guess that wouldn't be considered a flaw. But you know, I'm showing my vulnerability. You know, but it is what it is. So, like I said, free admission for everybody. So all y'all on the social media apps, just like the screen or tap the screen. TikTok, tap the screen for 10 seconds. That's your price of admission. And then I'll talk about whatever subject. But after about 5 or 10 more minutes on the other platforms except TikTok, I'm gonna get off. I'll probably get off on all of them because I gotta like reset my brain. Hold on, let me see something. Okay, what's happening? Okay. Oh, you see it? I guess no one's talking, so I guess I'll just talk about something random. Y'all have any? Nobody has any? Nobody. Okay, let's talk about something random. Okay, let's talk about. You want to talk about investing? Okay, let's talk about basic investing. Okay, everybody needs some investing. All right, rich get richer. Hey man, I don't know who posing down there with me, but hey, that's one of the accounts, man. You better get out of here. They're gonna get you, bro. So when it comes to investing, thank you, YouTube. I appreciate you. So let's talk about investing. I mean, shit. All right. So the more investment avenues you invest in, the better. I know that sounds kind of corny and cliche, but you know, it is what it is. So you need to be putting your money to work on all avenues, not just business acquisition, not just buying real estate, you know, all a journey of 1,000 miles start with one step. So things like investing in, especially if you have a job with a 401k. And no, I'll meet people that say, well, I don't want to invest in my 401k. I want to buy a business. And I say, well, how long you been there? Well, I've been there 7 years. You know, the 7 years you was working there, if you'd put $300-400 into an account, $400 over a year, and if they match, you put $400 in this account and they match that account. 400 plus 400 is $800. 800 over a year is 90, you know, 9 grand. Over the last 7 years, that's $5,600. I mean, you know, shit, $56,000. No, am I right? I'm off. Yeah, $56,000. I mean, and then you could take a SBA loan out and use your 401k as collateral for your down payment. So you're trying to like save up nickels and dimes, but not contributing to your 401k. But that's your down payment for the business right there. A lot of people come to me and they'll say, yo, man, I want to buy a business, but I ain't got no money. Okay, you have a 401k? Yeah, I got about 150,000 in there. Okay, cool. If you put that up as collateral, they'll put that as your down payment. Just don't default because you owe that money, which they understand. I mean, you're an adult. Sometimes you got to take risks, but that's an option, right? My thing is I'm the king of options, right? I give you multiple options, and whatever you like the best, we'll roll with that one. All right. So something else. ETFs and mutual funds. You should be contributing $50, $100, $150, $200 a month to ETFs. I don't care. My go-to is VOO, Vanguard ETF, Electric Transferable Fund, S&P 500. You track the top 500 performing stocks in America. So it's almost like fail-proof. And then high yield savings accounts, the money that's just sitting around, not doing anything. You need to be putting it in that. So you need to have, yeah, crypto-like options. And the more assets and the more options you have, the better a bank or the SBA or the government will look at you as more of a asset instead of a liability. Because you're showing diversity, you're showing management of multiple funds, and you look like somebody who people want to do business with. You know, you got $50,000 in one account, 401k. You got $20,000 into in stocks. You got $15,000 in a high yield savings account. Those are the type of shit that people want to see. Not, hey man, I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't get it. I don't know what people think or expect. But have more than one option and have your money circulating in multiple different things. Because if one thing don't work out, the other thing more likely is. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But like I said, I'm about to get off here. But I'm gonna hop back on TikTok here in about 20 minutes. About 9:30, I mean 8:30, 8:40. I'll hop back on. I gotta go reset my brain. Like I said, I'm tired. But if y'all on social media, sign up for the free class. Link in the bio. It starts in 45 minutes, actually 40 minutes. I'll see you there. You want to learn more about cash flow producing asset? Let's go. If not, oh well. Have a good one, and I'll see y'all later. Thanks y'all for tuning in. Turn your notifications on, please. Thanks.